This is an excerpt from my article, The Anatomy of an Argument. The anatomy of an argument. A typical argument, like any other kind of discussion, has identifiable elements. If you understand how they flow, you have a better chance at diffusing them before they can cause harm to your relationship. The trigger. Triggers come in all shapes and sizes. Stress from work, a child's unmet needs, your partner's quirks, a wisecrack, a slow commute after work can all work to set your teeth on edge. Poorly understood triggers can set you up for a domino effect mindset in search of a way to relieve the tension brewing underneath your emotional surface. You are not the cause of your partner's triggers, nor is your partner the cause of yours. You are responsible for and to you. The issue. This is a misconception. Most arguments are never about the thing. In fact, the subject of the argument after analysis is often just a trigger or a contributing factor to the real subject, that is, the backstory, of the argument lodged just beneath the emotional surface. The words. In general, women tend to use more emotional words in their arguments, such as, "I feel exhausted just looking at that pile of dishes you left in the sink," while men default to either using less words or turning to logic and what I call word parsing, which is a search for literal meaning, such as, "Exactly how much time do I have to get to the dishes after dinner before you blow up about it?" Depending on early gender roles in the family of origin, you may have been taught to turn to problem solving or deep listening skills to talk your way through an argument. It's perplexing if you find that that doesn't work very well. Most of the time, if you are experiencing heightened emotional sensitivity, you won't actually hear much of the words spoken. But you'll hear the next element loud and clear, which is the tone and body language. If 60 to 80% of all communication is nonverbal, you can safely assume that a large chunk of any argument is messaged through nonverbal body language and vocal tones. Examples are folded arms. How about eye rolling, which is resentment, slumped shoulders, or puffed up chest because you're very, very angry, grimacing, and micro expressions of anger, shrill vocal tones, woo! Typically women do that. Vocal volume, both men and women can do that when they're feeling angry, and tears. Now I have a little note here for men and women. Men, if you want to ensure that your partner, whether male or female, doesn't hear a word you say, turn up the volume of your voice and depress your eyebrows. Women, if you want to watch your partner flee the room faster than a banshee, raise the shrillness of your voice, meaning nag, fold your arms across your body, and sneer on the side of your mouth. Brr. The backstory. That's the next element in the anatomy of an argument. Behind every bad fight is a backstory. Often the backstory is the real argument, the thing you're truly fighting about. It just doesn't get expressed. Quick discussions that reach the backstory are often easily resolvable and do not lead to further fighting. Fights that never unearth the backstory are often repeated over many, many years, and that causes partners really deep fears, resentment, and or avoidance. And when you see your partner shut down, literally walk away, or shout in anger, she or he is often experiencing elements of his or her backstory coming into play. This is easily observable when the argument trigger involves something really trivial. Now, backstory examples are shame, fear, resentment, previous failures, previous experiences of feeling trapped, hopeless, abandoned, lonely, left out, forgotten, punished, hated, abused, or misunderstood. Pretty much everything negative that we all try to avoid. That's backstory. And finally, the resolution. Every argument has a resolution, although not every resolution solves the original problem. You may have experienced arguments that ran over an hour and then left both of you exhausted. But at least we talked it through, right? Now, other times someone walked away and you decided it was best to avoid bringing it up again. Still others try make-up sex. effectively trying to smooth over angry feelings, a big wash of body chemistry through orgasmic pleasure. While the hope of resolving an argument is to move the relational energy back to a place of peace and harmonious connection, many arguments fall short of achieving this hopeful goal. Now, putting all that together, all the different elements, the trigger, the issue, words, tone and body language, backstory, and a resolution, it's solved, right? Wrong! Many times, all you feel after an argument is just more frustration. Now, is that necessary? Do we always have to go through all this arguing to get to a resolution? Thankfully, the answer is no. Read the rest of my blog post to find out why.